to it. This one isn't going to take us that long. This is our last summer wreath, you guys. Well, maybe not. We have the zinnia flower coming up, and if you're going to be using, you know, depending on what color you use, that could be a summer flower. We have the poly burlap daisy coming up, and I'm going to use orange for mine. I just got my poly burlap in for that, and I'm going to use orange for fall for mine. So anyway, so this is the Lighthouse ruffle wreath. Did you get your Lighthouse, Robin, or no?
No, I don't have anything.
Did you see the link where that I posted where you could order it?
Yes, I did. I've just
got
been
a lot of cute ones there. You have a lot of cute ones there. And I think somebody said, I don't remember who it was, but somebody said they got theirs from Hobby Lobby, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and it was half price. But this is the one that I got for myself. It's a little bit different than the one that's in the picture. This one doesn't have any blue on it. This is just like tan. It's so bright in here. And there's some little fishies hanging on the side and a starfish. This was, I think, $13, I think, plus shipping. And the name of the site is Party Swizzle or Party Zwizzle. I can't remember, but I did post the link in the class listing in the events calendar. So, but it's really cute, and it's wood. You know, it's good quality. It's kind of heavy, so we're gonna wire it in. I'm gonna use floral wire and wire it in. I'm looking at it right now. I'm trying to see. I mean, floral wire is thin anyway. Maybe I can kind of feed it around the roping that's here, because this roping that's in the middle has a little gap in it, just so you can't see the wire, but it's not going to hold with glue. And I also have, I was going to do starfish, and then I thought, you know, I did starfish on my last couple of beach wreaths. I went to Hobby Lobby and I got some shells, some different shells. Whoops. And these were $3.99, but I used my 40% off coupon. And there's a bunch of different ones in here. So I thought I would put these around, you know, in my sand or my mesh that looks like sand. And this one's kind of neat too. I like that one. You know, you have to be careful, at least I noticed when I'm looking through the shells and the starfish at any craft store really, or Hobby Lobby, or I think Walmart has them too. These, sometimes you find these and they're broken. So you really have to look through your packages very carefully because they get damaged during shipping. I don't, you know, people maybe drop them on the floor at the store, I don't know, but you gotta really look over those very closely. Let me plug my charger in here. So I know a lot of people commented on the wreath that I made today for my customer. I had a custom order for somebody in Florida, and I used that really pretty coral and jute mesh. And someone, you know, a few people asked me, Christina, have we done a class on that yet? We've done a ton of classes. That's just your basic ruffle wreath. And I think those were 15-inch ruffles that I used in this one. And she requested these colors. She wanted the coral, and it's just a jute, and you can see my pipe cleaner still sticking out here because I have to put my ribbon on. She requested the coral and the jute mesh, but these are just 15-inch ruffles, 2 per tie. That's really all it is, and I used 1 roll of each. But we're going to be doing the exact same thing tonight. So for those of you that asked, have we ever done a class? Yes, we have, but we're doing the same thing tonight. We're going to be adding 2 15-inch ruffles per tie, but it's going to be different, obviously, and you can see by how my wreath form looks. I've got my tan pipe cleaners on the bottom for my sand, and I've got my blue on the top for my sky or water or whatever you want to call it. If you don't have, you know, colored pipe cleaners that match your the colors of your mesh, don't panic, because we're not going to be getting ribbon. So when you're done putting your mesh on, we're going to be cutting the extra pipe cleaners off. So, but I just did it that way just so I knew where my halfway point was which you have 3 sections on the bottom of your Dollar Tree form if you have a Dollar Tree form, and you have 3 sections on the top. You have 6 sections. So that's kind of how I divided it. I think I may have even put more than 18 on mine. I was in a hurry and I didn't stop and measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I have 10 on the inside and 10 on the outside this time. And I usually only have 8 on the inside, but if you just have 8 on the inside, don't worry about it. Like I said, I was in a hurry, so. We have Cheryl here, Cindy's here. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Lori. It seems pretty quiet as far as background noise. There's no dogs barking or TV or anything, so I'm not even going to bother muting you guys. Now, I had a little bit of a, not really a dilemma. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do as far as my mesh colors, because I have my jute mesh, which I'm going to be using for my sand. It's just a poly jute. I got this at Hobby Lobby. It does have a tendency to fray. You can't cut it with the wood burning tool. So I'm insane, and I just take my scissors and I cut it by hand, and I go right through the grid line as best as I can, sort of to minimize fraying. But it, you know, that type of mesh is just going to fray. There's nothing you can do about it. And then I realized that I didn't really have like a lighter blue mesh. I thought I did. And then when I was in Hobby Lobby, I was looking the other day, and they only had like either a really light baby blue or they had this. Now I got this, and you're probably wondering, why didn't you cut it, Christina? Because it's 21 inch and I need a 10 inch. Now I don't really like to cut my 10 inch mesh down the middle, even with the wood burning tool. It's always been a disaster for me. And I kind of stopped and I thought, well, this is really the color that I want, but how is it going to look if I do 21 inch? I was thinking, well, maybe I'll cut this into 10 inch pieces and I'll just ruffle it up. Now, we've never done that before. You can do that. You can take 21 inch mesh and cut it into 10 inch pieces and just lay your 10 inch side facing you and then ruffle it up like you have a 21 inch piece, just if that makes sense, if I didn't confuse you. But I didn't want to do that. I get nervous cutting my, you know, I don't know. I decided not to use this. What I did find that I had, though, was this ombre mesh, which I think will look okay because it's got different colors in it. It's got lighter blue. It's got a little bit of darker blue. And I think that'll look nice. Now, if you look at the one that's in the image, it looks like there's a little bit of darker blue underneath and then lighter blue on the top. I think any kind of blue that you use will be fine as long as you don't use like a royal blue or a turquoise. I think that's going to be a little bit too dark. But I think this is going to work out fine. And then I actually also had some of this, a few pieces of this I was looking through. This is the lighter ombre mesh. I might throw those in as well. I don't even know where I got that. I was finding all the stuff in my closet that I didn't know I had. But I might not use that at all. But I hope I didn't confuse you when I said that. You know, I kind of want to do a class on that. If you know what I mean, take your 21 inch mesh, cut it into 10 inch pieces, and then you ruffle it up the long way. I'm going to do a class on that because I can't really explain it unless I show you. Let me see if I have I might even have a piece of 21 inch mesh and I can show you. You're probably thinking, we know what you're talking about. Just move on already. Here's a piece of 21 inch mesh cut into 10 inch. So what I mean by that, normally when I do a ruffle with a piece of 21 inch mesh, you've seen this. I roll it in, I fold it in half, and I do my poof ruffle thing. That's usually what I do. But what you can also do, you can take it, lay it down like that, and ruffle it up this way. But the only problem with that, and the only thing that scares me, here you have your little ruffle, look at that. The only thing that scares me about doing it this way is these are your cut ends. You've got your cut ends here. Now, if this was a 10 inch piece of mesh, your cut ends would be on the ends, not on the sides. So you can see how this is fraying. So that's what kind of scares me and why I really haven't done that method yet, but I'd like to try it. I really would. Anyway, I'll move on now. I just wanted to show you what I meant. Okay. You can pretty much start anywhere you want. You can start on the sand part, you can start on the sky, but all we're going to do is we're going to do 2 ruffles per tie, 15 inches. Now, you know what I've been starting to do with my ruffles now? I'll take my end and I'll fold it just a little tiny bit, maybe an inch. I'll flip it over so that end is folded under, and then I start scrunching it, just so that cut end is folded under. And then when I get to my end, I fold that under too, just a little bit. That's it. Lay your first piece parallel to your wreath form. Give it a couple of twists, because you're going to add another one right on top of it. Once you get it on there, try not to pull on it too much, because that's what's going to make your phrase. And that's what we don't want. That's it. So if you saw what I did, the reason why I lay it this way first is because I want to be able to fold it over a little bit, and then I flip it over. Now, I saw somebody the other day doing a ruffle a different way too. So I'm going to crisscross this one, this second one. I'm going to crisscross it right over. We're going to cut all of our pipe cleaners off after, because we're not going to need those. Now, if I have extra mesh left over, I may add more pipe cleaners, because I don't like having extra pieces of mesh laying around, like a quarter of a roll or 3 or 4 pieces. I like to just try to add them. I forgot what I was going to say. That's it. Somebody did a ruffle the other day, and they laid it face up like this, and they folded these together like that, and then they ruffled it like that. So, you know, that's a different way to do a ruffle. And then you've got all your cut ends hiding underneath, and you just pinch it and you put it on that way. But I kind of like doing it the way I do it, because it's more ruffly that way. Just fold the end under a little bit. And get to the other side, just kind of fold it in. Now, the other wreath that I made that I showed you for my customer, I took it outside this morning and I sprayed it with the Elmer's Craft Bond spray adhesive. Just so when the customer gets it and, you know, she takes it out of the box and she's hanging it and, you know, handling it, that it doesn't start to fray. And it's just a spray adhesive. I think I've shown you this before, but it's smelly. If you're going to spray it, you're going to want to do it outside, which is why I took that picture outside, because it is smelly. They have some other ones too that I don't think are smelly. That's the one that that I had. So, anybody else joined us here? I keep getting all these messages popping up. I need to shut my Facebook down. I'm part of an admin group. All the admins of all the group have a chat, and they're all talking about Regina Sellers and her lives last night. Did anybody see any of Regina Sellers' lives with Scott Waterman? She sells ribbon now, so we're on there talking about ribbon and giving away Pro Bows and all that. What do you guys think of Scott Waterman? Do you like him, or what do you think? Have you watched him yet? Anybody?
No, I have not. Cindy. Him.
Hold on a second. Let me turn my volume up. What was that?
It's Cindy. I haven't watched him at all. It's Robin.
No.
I haven't either.
I don't know. He kind of gets on my nerves, I'll be honest with you. I was just curious to see what you guys thought. I think he's just a little bit over the top. You know what I mean? He's just like, always like, at, top speed and just, I mean, it's good to be excited, but I don't know. That's just my opinion anyway. So I'm just going around the outside. Design with Scott, I think the name of his page is. I don't know. I just feel like there's this this wreath clique of all these A-listers, you know, the big names in wreath making, and they all kind of like do their little thing. And I kind of feel like I'm sort of like on the outside sometimes looking in, because I'm just this little wreath maker girl who teaches classes a couple of times a week. And, you know, I just feel like, no, I don't have my wholesale license. No, I can't sell a ton of supplies. I can offer kits once in a while, but that seems to be the thing now, is Damon in his warehouse with all of his, you know, supplies and stuff. I'm glad he's doing well, though.
What I hate is when you're following certain individuals like that, and you comment and they just blow right by you.
That's because there's too many comments. They can't see them all. And that's another reason why I do it this way and I don't do Facebook Lives. Because the comments scroll by, and if you've got, you know, over 1,000 people watching you, they're not going to see your comment. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
either that, or I don't know. I don't think they'd purposely ignore you. I don't know why they would do that, but who knows?
No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean at all.
What do you mean?
Just, I don't know. Nothing. I keep my comments to myself.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. And you're going to notice if you've got this jute mesh that this, because it's got burlap in it. So it's going to be a little bit messy. I'm going to probably have it all over my keyboard. We're just going around the outer ring here. And we actually stopped at a little farm stand on the way home from the lake, and we got the best corn on the cob. I guess it's like, you know, in season now, or it's just starting to become in season locally here, and it was just so sweet. It was so yummy. I love corn on the cob. Oh, wait a minute, did this come out? Be careful you don't pull on it too hard or your ruffle's gonna come out. Someone was asking me today when the gutter guard class was, and I just drew a total blank. I can't remember. I have to look at the calendar. I don't even know if I put the supply list up for that yet. You know, you guys, I hope you realize that I'm so busy. If you comment in the group and I don't see it right away, you know, a lot of times what happens is, and for some reason, when someone comments in the events calendar, Facebook does not send me a notification. So I had a couple people that had asked me a question that had posted it in the events calendar under the class listing like a week ago, and I felt terrible because I didn't see it. I don't want any of you guys to ever think I'm ignoring you, but there's so many comments. So I think the best thing to do is, if you have a question that you want an answer to right away, send me a private message, or try to tag me in the post so I can see it, just to make sure that I see it. Because I feel terrible when you ask me a question and I don't see it and it's been several days. And I don't want you guys to think I'm ever ignoring you, because that's not the case at all. It's just, it's a lot, you know, I love it. But, and the group is getting bigger, and there's a lot of new members, and they're confused, and they don't know how everything works. And, you know, so I try to be very thorough. I try to be there for everybody and answer your questions, which I think a lot of the other paid groups that are really big, you know, I've heard stories about some where they don't get any personal attention at all. So, I mean, if that's the kind of thing that you like, that's fine, you know, but I like to be able to give personal attention as often as I can if it's needed.
I'm glad you said something about that, Christina. This is Jamie, because I private message you quite a bit lately, but I'm glad you don't get irritated.
I don't mind, because the thing of it is, like I said, sometimes I don't get notifications, and I would prefer that you private message me if it's something important, and I certainly don't mind at all, Jamie. I really don't.
Okay, good.
Sometimes if you see that I read your message and I don't respond right away, don't take it personally. It's probably because I'm in the middle of about a zillion other things. So, or sometimes I'll like wake up at 2:00 in the morning and I'll look at my phone and I'll look at my messages and I'll read it, but I'm like half dead. So you're not going to get a response from me, 2:00 in the morning. So,
I understand how that goes because I'm super busy too. I only have like 3 days off a week and that's it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like super busy.
I love it though. I love being busy. I really, really do. But sometimes it's just, and then my doggy gets me up really super early because she's sick and, oh my gosh, you guys are going to die. Has anybody ever seen like a live bat before? I know that's a silly question, but I actually saw my first real live bat last night. I'd never seen one before in my whole 53 years. And I had Sammy outside last night, and it was just starting to get dark. Now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go into my second ring because I want to do my sand first. So I did all my outside, and now I'm going to go in and I'm going to do the inside. So anyway, so Sammy was outside doing her thing, and someone had told me once that you don't see birds in the sky at night. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Birds go to sleep. Does that make sense that birds don't fly around at night? Does anybody agree with that statement or no?
I agree.
Okay. So I'm looking up in the sky waiting for Sammy. Sometimes Sammy takes quite a while to do her business. She just wanders around and she sniffs, and sometimes she just kind of stands there, and she's an old lady, and so I kind of have to boot her in the butt a little bit to get her to move. But anyway, it's about 9:00 and it's just starting to get dark, and I look up in the sky and I see what I think are birds, and they're flying like really fast, and they're like flying in circles, and I'm like, holy crap. That's not a bird. And I don't know why, I just got totally freaked out, and I grabbed Sammy and I ran in the house. Now I know they don't hurt you, you know what I mean, but it was like my first time ever seeing one. And then I text my son because he wasn't home. He says, he goes, I wish I could have seen him. And he's like raced home so he could see if he could see him. But, I guess they're harmless. They just want insects. Did you know that they're blind too? I didn't know that they were blind. I had no idea. I learned all this stuff about bats.
I had one in my house one time, Christina.
Oh, I would not be able to deal with that.
Oh, it wasn't pretty. The kids were little. I got everybody in a room, and we waited till my ex-husband came home to get the bat out of the house.
Oh, God. So what did you do? I mean, isn't it just like a little mouse with wings? Isn't that really all it is?
Yes, but he got in it with, I don't know how he got, it was like, it was at night. And, oh, my God, all of a sudden this thing is flying in the house. And
oh, my gosh.
My kids were little, so we all went in a bedroom, and I closed the door.
Oh, God, I would have done the same thing.
And I waited till he got home. He wasn't happy with me. He had to go with like a butterfly net. A fishing net.
Did he actually catch it, or did he like shoo it outside, or what?
He had to catch it because it was flying just blindly in the hallway. It didn't know where to go.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, but he got it, and we just put it back outside. But oh my God, yuck!
Yeah, I know. I agree. I just got totally freaked out when I saw that, and I don't know why I've never seen one before in my 53 years. But so there you go. I don't know, you think about like Dracula and vampire bats and all that, all these movies, and I don't know, it's silly. Silly.
Christina, we used to have one on our boat, and we didn't bother it because we had a lot of spiders, so
yeah, they like insects.
It goes somewhere else at night, so it worked for us.
Who is that talking now? I'm sorry, I don't recognize your voice.
Cheryl.
Cheryl. Oh, okay, Cheryl. No, I don't know about that. I know that they're harmless, but they're just, ugh.
Yeah, he had a home under the gunnel, so he would just go in there during the day, and we'd go out and do our thing, and at night he'd be out eating all those big spiders. So
There you
that
go.
worked. Yeah, so that worked.
Good. I guess I'd rather have that than spiders because I don't do spiders. So I don't do centipedes either. I've been seeing some centipedes in my house lately, and I cannot stand centipedes. Horrible. They're too many legs and they're fast. Can you guys believe it's going to be at August? I cannot believe it. Now, I want to tell you guys, I know I'm coming up with a bunch of different fun things that we can do, but if you guys have any ideas at all, post them in the group. Say, Christina, can we do something like this? I would love that. Sometimes I get like fresh out of ideas. I need help. So if there's anything you guys want to do, I'm open for it. It doesn't have to be a wreath. It can be, you know, a floral arrangement. It can be any type of a craft item. You know, it doesn't have to be a wreath.
Christina, it's Robin. I bought the, like a penguin body and arms and legs and face. And I want to put that in a wreath. So someday if you ever
That's
think
cute.
about doing one of those, yeah, doing like a class with that. I think I bought a snowman or a Santa too.
I've got a Santa. I've got a Santa head and legs and stuff. Yeah, I do. I'm going to be scheduling some Christmas stuff soon.
Okay.
Where'd you get
Because
the
I'll wait for
penguin?
you then.
Where'd you get the penguin?
I think I got everything through Craft Outlet.
Okay, that sounds really cute. I'm going to have to go look at those. That sounds cute. I mean, I know a lot of wreath makers are doing Christmas now, and I know you probably want some Christmas stuff for your craft fair though, right, Robin?
Yeah, the first one I'm doing fall and Christmas. So I have some Christmas left, so I think I'm going to just basically take that.
Yeah.
Try and, I hate to say the word dump it, but you know, get it out.
I just feel really weird doing Christmas before October. I don't know, but I mean, everybody else seems to be doing Christmas now, so I'm going to have to start getting some stuff scheduled for Christmas.
I just sold a snowman face, you know, wreath the other day, so it's weird.
Yeah, you know, I love Christmas though. You know, and it's so funny because we were at the at-home store. We have a new at-home store that was built in New Hartford, which is about half an hour from me. And they have a lot of their Christmas stuff out. And then my daughter was like, no, I'm not ready yet. I'm like, honey, you don't understand retail, you know, and if you do this, you know, if you have a business that, you know, and this kind of thing, you have to start early, you know, you just have to. And I know somebody posted in the group the other day, I think it was Deborah Lynn, that she had gotten ribbon there. And I found the same ribbon that she got, and I just grabbed it because I loved it. And this is 30 feet. So what is that, 10 yards for $4.99? Isn't that pretty?
It is.
And the lady was teasing me because she said, because I got some pumpkins and some other fall stuff. And she goes, well, you got, and I think I got a Halloween thing too. And she's like, well, you got 3 seasons all wrapped up in one. I'm like, yeah. And I started to tell her about the group, and we make wreaths. Do I just have one in here, or do I have 2? I got to add another one. Now I have quite a bit of this tan left, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my blue, and then I'm going to see where I'm at, and I may go back in and add some more pipe cleaners just to use up the mesh. Now, I was thinking about putting a piece of plastic canvas in the middle to fill it all in, but you know, I don't think we're going to really need to do that. I think it's going to be full enough that you know, you don't really have to fill the center, and you can do that if you want. And I'll show you what I mean. I mean, it's just like you're making like we do with our flowers. If you want to just get a piece of your plastic canvas here, you know, before you start, and you know, cut a circle out and zip tie it to the middle, and you can just go right across with your mesh and just to fill it all in. But I think, you know, I don't really think I need to do that. You know, I don't mind having a little bit of a hole in the middle. But again, once we get all the mesh on, there may not be a hole at all because you know how full wreaths get. Okay, so here's my sand. I've got all my pieces in there. You know, it's looking pretty full, but again, I have some left over, so I may still add more pipe cleaners and use the rest of it up. But let's go ahead and start working on our sky/water. You really shouldn't pull on this like I do. You should try to cut it if you have any frays. Shouldn't pull it. I try to like tuck my cut ends in as best I can so they're not seen. Like I said, that's the only thing I don't like about working with this jute mesh is it does fray. We can go ahead and cut all of our pipe cleaners off. You can cut them off or you can tuck them in, wrap them around the back, whatever you want to do. Because we're not going to need them. We're not going to be adding any ribbons, so. Because there's actually still quite a bit of room back here to add more pipe cleaners if we want to, and more ruffles. Do I have, yeah, I know why it looked funny here. This pipe cleaner's coming out, that's why. That's why it looked a little weird. Okay. Is anybody else making theirs with me tonight, or are you guys just watching?
I'm just watching. I had to take a break from making Christmas wreaths. I have a show on September 8th, and I'm making Christmas.
Uh-huh. And who was that was just talking? I'm so sorry.
Oh, this is Jamie.
Jamie, that's right. Okay. You were just talking a little while ago. And of course, I can't remember your voice. It's ridiculous.
This is Laura. Just watching.
You know what you can even do? Because we're not going to be adding any ribbon, okay? I've got a lot of pipe cleaner left on there. Look how much pipe cleaner is left on there. I think I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to throw another ruffle on there until I use it all up. So instead of going back in and adding more pipe cleaners, because I've got room, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put another ruffle on top, here and there. I don't think I have enough left to put it in every one. And all it's going to do is just make it a little bit fuller. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to throw one here. I think I'm going to focus on the center first because that'll just make the center more full and fill up that hole. And it even covers up my pipe cleaner too. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Instead of going ahead, like I said, if I was going to be adding ribbon to this, I wouldn't want to use up my pipe cleaner because I would need it. So since we're not going to be adding any ribbon, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to add some ruffles here and there on top of. So we're going to have 3 on some of these. Why not? Instead of just stuffing these extra pieces in my bag with all my leftover mesh, which drives me crazy because a lot of times I'll forget what I have. I don't, the storage I have for my extra mesh isn't the best. I need like an extra room or something. So sometimes I just put stuff in bags or I put it in bins in my closet and I'll forget that I have it. And I can't tell you how many times I've gone out and I've bought, more mesh in a certain color, and then I found that I had some extra pieces like tucked away. So I would rather use up what I have than buying more. That wreath I made the other day that I still have to send the video, I'm so sorry, I've just been so busy this weekend, that summer wreath, the welcome wreath. That was all mesh I already had. They're just extra pieces that I had. And that's how you're going to make money, is by making the best of what you already have instead of going out and buying more.
I'm redoing my craft room. Is it better with the ribbon to do it by colors or by seasons?
I do it by color, actually. Well, you know what? That's actually a good question. I think what I would do, and you can see that I don't really have any ribbon organization right now either, that I'm also working on. I think I would do it by season and then do by color within that season. What do you guys think? I think that's what I would do.
I just redid my craft room and I did it the way you just said, you know, by season and by colors.
Yes. Yep. It's a great idea.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Who was that just asked that question?
Lori.
Okay, Lori. And I'm sorry, it does, like, your name or anything doesn't light up when somebody asks a question. So I don't know some of your voices, so I apologize.
Okay, I haven't been on here in a while.
You haven't. So I'm glad you're here. So right now,
I broke my foot, so I'm pretty.
oh dear. Ouch. So right now I'm kind of focusing on the inside. I'm putting these extra pieces on the inside. So the inside I have 3 ruffles in each tie. I'm just going to keep going. I think I have about 3 pieces left. Oh, I just got a little bit blurry. I just noticed that. You can see that I'm getting to the center of the roll as it starts to want to curl and do its own thing. You know, even though this jute mesh does fray like the dickens, it looks really pretty when it's done. Hey, Mimi, I see you sneaking on in there. I see you.
Hi.
How are you, my dear?
Doing good, thank you.
You're welcome. So again, if you guys like that wreath I posted this morning with the coral, I used the same type of mesh too, but it had a cream stripe down the middle. This is the same exact method. This is the same way I did the ruffles on that one. I'm doing, you know, we're doing it here. The only thing we're doing differently is I did 2 different colors per tie. And obviously we're doing this one's really curly. We're doing the jute mesh for the sand and then the blue for the sky or the water. So I pretty much just focused on the inside, but I think I'm going to stick this one down here on the outside.
Christina, how long are the ruffles?
15 inches.
Okay.
And did you hear what I was saying, how since we're not adding ribbon, I'm just going ahead and I'm adding the extra pieces, yeah, right on top of the other 2. Just
yes, I did.
What I have, yeah. Because we're not going to need that pipe cleaner for ribbon. No ribbons, Mimi.
I know.
I know. That's why I took a picture of my wreath this morning and I thought, I wish I didn't have to add ribbons.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you. All right, so that's it. I'm out of the tan. So I think I'm going to go ahead now and snip off my pipe cleaners. You can snip them off. If you snip them off, make sure that they're twisted enough so your ruffles don't come out. So when you're done adding your ruffle, just twist it a couple of more times. If you don't want to snip off the extra, you can kind of wrap it around the back, but you know, snipping it off is a little bit easier. Just again, like I said, make sure that it's twisted enough. You don't want to lose your ruffle. I can't find the other one. There it is. We had some fireworks in our little town last night. We have something called Honor America Days. I don't know why they have it at the end of July and they don't have it for the 4th of July, but this is just always the way that they've done it. And I don't know if you folks know, you probably have no clue where Rome, New York is. Rome, New York is where I live, and it's about 2 hours west of Albany, New York, in upstate New York. And we actually have a national monument right up the street from my house. It's called Fort Stanwix. And there were actual, battles in the Revolutionary time. And they recreated this fort, and it's one of those things that, when you live here and you kind of drive by it every day, you don't really pay attention to it. Like, I'm sure people who live like in, Washington, D.C., drive by the Washington Monument every day, and they're just so used to seeing it. But it's an actual recreation of a fort that, and it's really cool, and they have reenactments in there. But anyway, they have Honor America Days at the end of July every year, and they have fireworks and all these activities and a parade. And they bring in the Syracuse Symphony, and they play on the lawn of the fort. And it culminates with the 1812 overture, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, and the cannons go off, and the fireworks are going off, and it's really something. I love fireworks. But now I know my dog is, hard of hearing, because my daughter said that she didn't even flinch. And it's right up the street from our house. It's close. So I just poked myself with the pipe cleaner, and now I'm bleeding. These things are sharp. When you pluck off the end, that wire in there is sharp, so be careful. I'm gonna bleed all over my wreath. I may have to go get a Band-Aid here. Isn't it fun when you injure yourself doing a craft? At least it's not glue, hot glue. If you want to, you can spray. Yeah, I'm gonna need to get a Band-Aid. I'm so sorry, hold on a second. Those pipe cleaners are sharp on the ends. I've cut myself before on the wire from ribbons too. Has anybody else done that? Sometimes the wire inside wired ribbon is sharp too. All right, I apologize. I injured myself. Let me just get my Band-Aid on here. There we go. So I don't bleed all over my wreath. So you can spray this too. In fact, I may spray this with the adhesive spray tomorrow, just because this jute mesh likes to fray. There's another piece right here. We're still working on the sand. I just want to make sure I get all my pipe cleaners clipped off so you don't. So even though it blends in with the tan, but if you happen to have a color that doesn't blend in, then you definitely want to cut off the excess.
Hey, Christina, when you use the adhesive spray, do you put that on before the UV spray?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And I always put it on before I put my ribbons on, because I don't want it to discolor my ribbons. It won't discolor your mesh. You don't really want to put so much on that, because sometimes it can leave a little bit of a residue, and depending on the color of the mesh that you're using, I kind of found out the hard way that I could see like a film on it. So you don't, you just kind of want to lightly spray it just to coat the edges, stop the fraying. But don't sit there and spray it for 20 minutes, because you will have a little bit of a residue on there. And then you can go ahead and put your UV spray on.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I think I got all my pipe cleaners clipped off here. Let me just make sure. So all I really did is I had some extra pieces, and again, I just went in and I went right on top of the other two that were already there. You can kind of see it's already filling in the middle. There's not going to be any space in the middle when we're done adding our blue, because it's just so full now. So look how pretty. I love ruffles. I do. Ruffles are my favorite. You guys can keep your poofs and your spirals. I'll do them, but I just love ruffles. I could do ruffles all day long. This mesh is really nice too. Like if you, because look at this, it's kind of fraying over here. I'm just trying to tuck it in. I'm going to spray that after. This method, or this type of mesh, is really good for the pull-through ruffle too. I know we did that. You can do a pull-through ruffle with 10-inch mesh. So stuff that has a tendency to fray like this is a really good mesh to use for the pull-through ruffle, because obviously you're not going to cut it. So you guys know what I mean by the pull-through ruffle, right? I think we did one around Easter time. I don't even know where that one wreath is. I think I may have put it away. I'm not sure if I put it away for the season, because I never really finished that one. I never put any ribbon on it. I just kind of made it. And okay. So now we're going to do our sky/water. So I think this ombre mesh is going to look pretty, I hope, because I didn't cut the other mesh. If you have 21-inch mesh, I know one of my other members had messaged me that that's what she had and she wanted to use it. You can definitely do the poof ruffle that we've done with 21-inch before, where you cut it into 21-inch by 10-inch pieces. You fold it in half the long way, and then you pinch it in the middle. So I think that would work, but we're going to try using this ombre. It's got different colors of blue in it, so I thought it would look pretty. What time is it? We're probably going to be done by 9:30. All right, so let's start over here. Just going to do the same thing.
Christina,
Yeah.
it's Mimi. There's a
I know.
lady that cuts the There's a lady that cuts the ruffles at 35 inches, rolls it up to the middle, turns it around, rolls up the other side, and then makes a ruffle.
Who is that? Do you know? That sounds
Yes,
confusing. What's that?
Woodland design.
Who is
Woodland
it?
design.
I didn't hear what you
Woodland
said.
design.
Well, let me
You can
stop.
hear me?
No, say it one more time.
Woodland design.
Woodland design. So just say that one more time. She cuts the mesh into 35-inch piece.
Right. She
And
rolls it up.
it's 10-inch mesh.
Yes.
Okay.
He rolls it up 2 or 3 times on one side, turns it around, starts rolling from the other side, and then continues with a ruffle.
I'm gonna have to.
All in one piece.
I'm gonna have to look that up. Does she have a
Yeah.
video on her page?
Yeah, she's always doing the same. It's she gave it her own name. She's very sweet.
Wow.
Very nice.
I'm gonna have to look that up because I'm curious.
I'm gonna get off because I know when I'm talking the screen goes black. So I'm gonna get off.
Okay. All right, my dear. I'm gonna have to look that up. Woodland Designs. Okay. So these dark blue pipe cleaners, you can really see these. They're not blending in as much, but again, we're gonna cut the excess off, so I'm not gonna really worry about it. You know, even if you didn't want to go like halfway up with your tan, you know, for your sand, you don't have to. I sort of went like halfway up with mine. But if you'd rather have more blue than tan, certainly just add a little bit less of the tan. I sort of did like a half and half thing. My beach is pretty big, I guess. But if you want more blue or sky, just don't go up so far up the wreath form with your tan pieces.
Christina, this is Cheryl again. I have one made, and on the side I have some dark brown, and I made it in the curly thing. So it looks like rocks, like the lighthouse is sitting on rocks.
Oh, that's cute. Are you going to post a picture of that so we can see it?
I don't know how to post a picture.
Oh, you don't?
No.
You know, I just realized I've never seen a picture that posted by you. Do you have it saved? Like, do you do it on, like, how do you access the group? On your laptop or your phone, or how do you?
My phone mostly.
On your phone? All you have to do is go to the very top of the page, and it should say post photo or video. And then you just go, and what you'll do is you'll click on video or photo, and then it'll bring up your photo library in your phone, and you just select the photo that you want. I would love to see that. We gotta help you. We gotta help you start posting some pictures, Cheryl. I didn't know that you didn't know how to do it. I would have helped you a long time ago, honey. I'm sorry.
I'd like to see it too.
I would love to see it. I'm gonna message you later, and we're gonna help you figure that out. Okay?
Okay, because I'd like to show you some ones that I've made for that.
I would love
The
to see.
military thing that I'm doing, and I think I need a little more help with that. So,
I will be glad to help you.
all right, thank you.
You're welcome. You can see how this mesh is a little bit, it's quite a bit more sheer than this. So I'm definitely going to have to put 3 per tie. I have extra. I think I have 2 rolls of this too, so I may have to go in every tie and do 3 because it's a very sheer mesh. How many do I have in this one? I can't even tell. I think this is pretty. I like this ombre mesh. Well, this is going to work. But like I said, it is sheer, so I'm probably going to have to add quite a bit more of this than I did of the jute. And my doggy had a lot of fun at the beach today. I mean, you know, it's hard to tell what her mood is because she's an old lady and she, you know, she's blind, but she seemed, you know, she seemed to be enjoying herself. She hates the car though. She gets very anxious in the car. Does not like it. So again, if the blue that you're using is a little bit thicker than mine, you may not have to add as many pieces, but I'm definitely going to have to add more. I only have 2 per tie now, but I feel like it needs to be, I need a little bit more coverage here. It's very pretty though. I love ombre mesh. have another tie hiding under there. I have a big space here. I may have to put, I don't know where that big space came from, but I'm going to throw another pipe cleaner in there, I think. I didn't measure. Usually I have my tape measure out and I'm, you know, measuring in between pipe cleaners, but I didn't do it this time. I just sort of eyeballed it. This is the last blue one next to the tan. I was going to tell you guys, I know I have that one class scheduled with the 9-inch ribbon, the fall ribbon. As far as I know, the only place that you can find that is at Michael's. That's where I got mine last year. That's where a couple of other people got theirs last year too. I'm going to tell you right now, though, that unless it's on clearance or unless it's on sale, it is kind of expensive. I think it was like $14 a roll. So basically, all that wreath is the pull through. That's all it is. You're just going to be using 9-inch ribbon. If you want to use, like if you find, I don't know if they make 6-inch ribbon, I think you could probably get away with using 4-inch ribbon, but 2.5 is definitely not going to be wide enough. So I was going to tell you, if you don't really want to spend that kind of money on the 9-inch ribbon, you can definitely, try to use a shorter width. I know Craft Outlet has a lot of 4-inch ribbon. You can even do Christmas. I know last year on a lot of the grab bags that Michael's had, they had the wider Christmas ribbon. I think I even have some in my bin here. It had like snowflakes on it. It was like a jute. It was a tan color and it was ribbon. So if I haven't confused you guys thoroughly already, I apologize. If you know what wreath I'm talking about. I mean, it's just the pull through, but it's using that 9-inch ribbon. And it's right here. I'll show you what mine looks like. In my little bin that's getting to be very overflowing here. This is it, and this is what I got. This came from Michael's last year. And it's ribbon. It's just really wide ribbon and it's wired. But I got it, I think, at like 75% off at Michael's last year. And I just never got a chance to use it. And I think I actually have, hold on a second, because I was looking through my bin the other day. This is just one of those bins that I have a whole bunch of different things in, and I don't even know what's in here. But I have some of that Christmas ribbon in here too that I got on clearance at Michael's last year. This is, oh, this was Big Lots. How wide is this? This is 5 inches. That might not be wide enough for that, but isn't that pretty? I got that at Big Lots last year on clearance. Anyway, let's get back to what we're doing. I don't want to be rifling through my bin here. This is sort of like you know how people have a junk drawer? I have a bin in my room here that I just kind of throw stuff in. I forget what's in there, so I really need to go through that. I think I need to reorganize my craft room, ladies. Yeah, quite a few people here tonight. Jackie's here. Hi, Jackie. Jackie, I was hoping you were going to stop by because this is the same method, that wreath that I posted this morning with the coral. This is the same method. It's just 15-inch pieces ruffled up. That's all it is.
Yeah, I was late, but I've been watching.
Okay, good. So this is the same exact thing, except in the wreath that I made this morning, I alternated the colors. I did 2 different colors per tie, and obviously we're doing 2 per tie of the same color, because we're doing sand and we're doing sky or water or whatever you want to call it.
How many of the pipe cleaners did you put on the original wreath before you started?
Well, best rule of thumb is you do 10 on the 2 outside rings and 8 on the 2 inside. I may be adding a little bit more just because I want to use up my extra mesh. And this blue mesh is kind of thin. It's kind of see-through, so I may have to go in and add some more pipe cleaners. But you always want to start with 10 on the outside and 8 on the inside if you have a 14-inch wreath form from the Dollar Tree. You can always go in and add more if you need,
Okay, well, that helps.
want it to be more full. What's that?
I said that kind of helps. I'm going to write it down so I can try and remember it.
Well, if you go to the class listing in the events calendar, I posted a video, a YouTube video from another wreath maker that shows how to add pipe cleaners, and she does it the same exact way I do. You know how to get to the events calendar, right? The class listings in there?
Yeah, I've done it.
Yeah. So if you go to the class listing for this one, it's right in there. It's how to make your own work wreath form. And she does it the same way that I do. But again, since I hate having leftover mesh laying around, I always end up adding more pipe cleaners just to use up my mesh. Now in this instance, because we're not going to be using these extra length of pipe cleaners in here to add ribbon, we're just going to be cutting them off. If I have any extra mesh left over and I want more fullness, like I did with the sand here, I'm just going to add another ruffle on top of the 2. So I may end up putting 3 ruffles in every tie for this blue because it is so sheer.
Okay.
So I didn't confuse you, I'm sorry. And this is Hobby Lobby mesh, so it is fraying a little bit, even though I cut it with the wood burning tool, but that's why I'm folding over the end a little bit like that. I'm just folding it over. If you see me doing that, Jackie, or anybody that joined us late, and then I flip it over and then I ruffle it.
Okay, that's
Just
good.
take that little piece on the end and fold it in.
Fold that in too. Okay.
Yeah, on your ends. So your cut ends are kind of hiding underneath. Just hide those away. I think the ombre mesh looks really pretty. I showed my daughter and she's like, oh, I don't know, Mom. Should get a lighter blue. And I said, I don't know, I kind of like this. I'm going to try it and see how it looks. Because the blue that they had, the light blue that they had at Hobby Lobby was really like a baby blue. And then I had a turquoise and I thought, no, that's not going to work. I can't have a turquoise sky or turquoise water. I guess there are some places that have turquoise water though. I don't know, the Bahamas or something. Isn't that water like turquoise colored? I can't tell you because I've never been to the Bahamas, so.
I just went on a cruise out in the Virgin Islands, and yes, there's turquoise waters out there.
There you go. See, so I knew someplace there had to be some turquoise water. That sounds wonderful. Wow. Bet you didn't want to come home, huh, Jamie?
No, I did not. We spent 7 days, my daughter and granddaughter and I spent 7 days on a cruise. It was beautiful.
Nice.
And I did not want to come home.
Aw. I love the
Barbados.
water. I really do.
Barbados was the best place, though, out of all of them.
What was it?
Barbados.
Oh, I can imagine. Wow. Has anybody ever been to Mexico? I heard Mexico's pretty nice too, as far as their oceans and stuff and their water. That's what I've heard.
Hey, girl.
Who's that?
That would be Dawn.
Hey, what are you doing?
Finally made it.
You got out of work. You made it.
Yeah, I just got done eating poppycock.
Poppycock, you kill me with that. Oh my God. I showed my daughter. She's like, Mom, I think she means peppercosh. I'm like, oh.
Always called it that. Always.
Poppycock. Oh my God, that's so funny. How was it? She's talking about chicken peppercosh, you guys, just so you know.
So yummy. I told my mom to write down the recipe and then I'll type it to you.
Yes, please. I really want to make it.
So
Do you use bone-in pieces of chicken, or can you use boneless?
she used boneless.
Yeah, I think I'd rather use boneless.
That's pretty much all I ever use.
Now, do you have to have Hungarian paprika, or it won't be the same, or what?
I'm sorry, tell me that again.
Do you have to have Hungarian paprika, or it won't be the same?
That's what she uses.
Okay.
And most generally, like your international food stores will carry it.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
And she
I'm
also
just
uses like smoked sausage.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to mute you for now, though, my dear. Don't be offended. Just so we can. Every time you talk, the screen goes black. But don't let that preclude you from asking a question, though. I'm glad you were able to join us.
All right, we'll see you later.
Okay, chicken paprikash. I really want to try that. Okay. I think that looks pretty. I'm still not done adding because I want to make sure it's nice and full. And boy, this mesh likes to stick together. Did I get all my inside pieces yet? No, not yet. I didn't mean to cut you off there, Dawn. It's just that when you're watching the final video, anybody who doesn't have their webcam on, the screen goes black every time you talk. And I've been fighting with Zoom, to figure out a way to not have that happen, because I don't want people to not talk, during class. And I told them, I said, I just need the video to stay on me unless somebody specifically wants me to see their camera and just hold up what they're making and say, what do you think of this? There's really no reason for the camera to be in anybody else because I'm the one who's doing the teaching. So we thought we had it figured out, but I may just switch to another service because I don't know. I shouldn't have to worry about that. I shouldn't have to tell people don't talk right now because you're gonna make my video disappear. So right now I still just have 2 per tie of the blue, but I'm definitely going to go in and add another one, I think, because it is very sheer. I'm going to be cutting my blue pipe cleaners off too. And get rid of those. I think I have one more on the inside here. Yeah, I think maybe next time I do something like this, I'm not going to go up as far with my jute mesh. I think maybe I'll go like a third of the way up and then do the rest with the blue. I sort of did like half and half, like I said, but I think it'll look all right. I hope they remember to turn the outside light on out there. My office is over my back deck that goes out over my backyard. And I don't like to, it's very, very dark out there. And I always tell them to turn the outside light on. Lauren, can you just go turn the outside light on? It's like off. Please. I don't like it because it's dark out there and it scares me. Somebody's going to sneak up on the deck and like look through my window. That's what I'm always afraid of.
I'm afraid of the bats.
Yeah, the bats. See? Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I just want the outside light on. Now, actually, you know what I just noticed? I had this other roll of ombre mesh cut from another project, and they're not 15 inches. I'm noticing right now they're only 10, but I'm not going to worry about it because I need to be able to keep adding some more until I get the fullness that I want. So if you're wondering why these pieces are shorter, It's because I had these cut for another project, but it's the same type of mesh. I think this was from my beach rail form that I made, the Life's a Beach form that I made. I had some left over. So again, use what you have. All right, so this is my sky or my water with just 2 per time. Don't look at the pipe cleaners, those are gonna come off. I think I'm gonna go through and keep adding. I'm going to add 1 more per time. Again, these are only 10 inches, but they're all going to kind of blend in together. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go ahead and add 1 more per tie. Now again, if I was adding ribbon to this, instead of putting another one on top, I would probably just go in and put another pipe cleaner in. But we're not going to need the pipe cleaner because we're not adding ribbons. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw another one in. Just to get it nice and full. I'm sort of like tucking my cut ends in because I don't like them sticking out because I'm crazy that way. You know, you could even do probably 30-inch ruffles with this too. So instead of, you know, doing 2 15-inch ruffles per tie or 3 in this case that I'm doing, if you just want to do your cuts at 30 inches and then just do 1 per tie, that would work too. Honestly, I guess I didn't think about that before. And you'd have fewer cuts. Fewer cuts is always a good thing. Less work, less fraying. You know, it's amazing how so many people do not know what deco mesh is, though. I was at the store earlier today, and I have a friend of mine that, you know, works over here. It's a Dollar General. It's like I can walk over there. It's like basically right next to my house, and I do walk over sometimes. I mean, why drive when it's right there? And the weather's nice. So I was showing her, you know, what I do and the wreaths. And people don't know what this stuff is. They're like, what is that? Is that tulle? You know, they don't, you know, so many people don't really know what this stuff is, or they've seen it and they don't really know what you can do with it. So. I think this is going to be just what this needs. Just throw another one in each tie. It'll be nice and full. I like this mesh. I really like this ombre. I like the way this came out. I do.
I love the ombre.
I love it too. I was a little concerned how it would come out, but it's looking pretty good. Is it sky? Is it water? It can be whatever you want it to be. I'm not even quite sure. It's just a pretty blue. That's all I know. That's all I know. So does anybody here like Stephen King? Is anybody a Stephen King fan? Or no?
Love Stephen King. I used to have every single book and movie of his, and I ran out of room, so I had to get rid of it.
Do you have Hulu at all?
Hulu?
It's like Netflix. It's called Hulu. Have you heard of it before?
I did have it. I'm getting it back, though, because we just recently got the Fire Stick, so I'm going to get those things back.
Well, let me tell you something, sister. Get it, because there's a new show on. It's a Hulu original, and it's called Castle Rock.
Oh, I just heard of that.
Oh, my God.
Is it really that good?
It is.
I have been waiting.
We've only watched a couple of episodes, but it's really good. In fact, we were going to watch it tonight after class because it's like, it's kind of one of those things where, you know, it's like you got to keep watching it. I think they only have the first 3 episodes on there now. It just started a few days ago, like literally. It's really, really good.
And it's
And
only on Hulu?
it's not written by Stephen King. I mean, obviously it's based on his fictitious town, Castle Rock in Maine. But it's all an original story. It's a new, it's really good. I'm not even gonna say anything. Hulu, you can get a free trial for a month, and then it's either $7.99 a month for limited commercials or $11.99 a month for no commercials, and that's not bad. Like if you have Netflix, I think it's right around the same price. But honestly, I've been kind of disappointed with Netflix lately. I haven't really been liking what they have on there. Maybe it's just me. I don't really watch a lot of TV, but if there's a good show, like this is a really good show. So I highly recommend. And it's not gory or anything, it's not, it's just one of those, it's very suspenseful and it makes you think and it's very creepy. So that's all I'm going to say.
Did you ever watch The Handmaid's Tale on Netflix?
I heard about that. I actually, what? I'm just talking about, I haven't liked what Netflix has, but my daughter was just telling me that I should watch that.
Phenomenal.
Really?
Phenomenal. I got my mom hooked on it.
All right, I guess I'm going to have to take back what I said about Netflix.
It's really good.
Okay, good. I will definitely check it out.
What was the name?
The Handmaid's Tale, is that what it is?
The Handmaid's Tale.
The Handmaid's Tale, yep. Is it supposed to be scary, or is it just like suspenseful, or like what?
Essentially like the government falls, the presidency, all that is gone.
Oh.
And they go way back to where women have no rights.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
They're not allowed to work. They're not allowed to have money. There's like a higher power of people. And then you have like the lower class, and then you have the dirt class. And they don't have like a prison system or anything like that. If you steal, you get your hand chopped off.
Oh my gosh, they're really going way back. Wow.
Yeah, they, you do certain things, you get
What happens if you commit adultery? What gets chopped off then? I don't even know.
They will drown you in a pool.
Oh my gosh, wow.
There's hangings. They stone people. But it's enough to where if something would ever happen in our day and age, it's like, wow, that really could possibly happen type of thing.
Wow.
It's very good.
Okay, cool.
Very good.
Anyway, enough of that. I could talk about that all night, but look how nice and full. Like we're like losing our hole in the middle. We don't even really have much of a hole, which is fine by me. But look how nice and full that is just by adding another one per tie. I have a few more pieces here, but I don't really think I need them. And these were only 10-inch pieces I added on the third one because this is what I had. So I feel like I only have a couple of pieces left. I just kind of want to throw them in here somewhere. Sometimes I don't know when to stop. So, wait a second. That's enough. No, it isn't. I think I only have like 3 pieces left here. And these are so short. These are only 10-inch pieces. They're small. I was a big Breaking Bad fan myself in the day. We like binge watched Breaking Bad when I first discovered it, because I didn't discover it when it first came out. So we watched 3 seasons in like a month. It was crazy. I don't really know what I'm adding to what here. I'm just sort of like tucking these pieces in here and there just to use this up. How can you not like ruffles? Look at that. How can you not like that? Did you guys ever see the wreaths that, I'm not sure who makes these, but it's like a woman's face and then the mesh is her hair. Have you guys seen those? Those are kind of neat, I think. I don't know. I haven't seen those in a while though. I think I better stop here because what time is it? It's like 9:30. But then all we really have to do is just glue our, we're not going to glue our lighthouse because it's too heavy. We have to wire that in. I'm sort of getting a little carried away here. I don't like to throw stuff away though. I need to hold that up for a minute and look at. I don't want to be able to see my wreath form either. And sometimes when you hold it up to the light, it makes a little bit of a difference. And I think right here I have a space. I'm just going to go ahead and put another ruffle on top of that one. The last thing you want to do is see your wreath form. I'm almost done, you guys, I promise. I think I have like 2 pieces left here. 2 very curly pieces. You know what, I saw someone made a wreath like this once, and they had little seagull cardboard cutouts, and they put those up in the sky as well, and that was kind of neat, I thought. I don't know where they got them. This is really curly. Now, let me look and see what I have here. I think I have like 4 pieces on that one. I don't want to add any more to that one. One more piece. That's it, one more. I'm gonna use it. If I can get it flattened out. There we go. I'm just gonna throw it right here. I'm not even paying attention to where I'm putting it. I'm just kind of throwing it in. Throwing it in there. Again, before you cut your pipe cleaners off, make sure that you have it twisted enough. You don't want your ruffle coming out after you did all this hard work putting them all on. Look at that. Very nice. And try not to cut yourself like I did. Some of them I'm not even sure if I'm going to have to cut off because I put so many ruffles on there that, again, if you don't want to cut them off, you can just twist them around to the back. I'm not sure if you can even see what I'm doing. This thing is so full. I'm having a hard time even finding some of my pipe cleaners, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Sorry guys, I kind of have to stand this up for a minute and find the rest of my pipe cleaners here and get these off. I'm getting to be down to the wire here. I think some people are falling asleep. I get a little bit crazy with ruffle. Sometimes, like I said, I don't know when to stop, so I apologize. Where are we? Here's one right here. Now, if I was going to be adding ribbon, I probably would not have added as many pipe cleaners, ruffles, because if your wreath is too poofy, it's not necessarily a good thing, because then your ribbon won't lay right. You're going to have your ribbon sticking up and it won't, you don't really want that. Well, maybe you do, but I don't like ribbon that sticks straight up. You want it to kind of lay over your wreath. So full wreaths are nice, but if you're going to be adding ribbon, try to be aware. Don't go too crazy, because you want to be able to have your ribbon to look right when you put it in there. You can see how we basically don't even have a hole in the middle anymore, so I think I got them all. Let me see. I think I did. Even if I didn't, you can't even see them anyway because this is so full. Okay, so that's that. Now, there, get my Lighthouse. I'm going to plug my glue gun in because I'm hoping that my shells aren't too heavy for me to attach with some hot glue. You can use starfish, you can use sand dollars. I just decided to use shells this time. Okay. You get your floral wire. If you even have any of the, I think I would have gotten this out earlier. I can't find it now. Where's my floral wire? There it is. If you guys have ever seen this type of ribbon, it almost looks like netting. You've seen this before. You could actually even take this and kind of, put it in amongst your wreath, just to kind of give it like a C type look. Like maybe once you put your lighthouse on, if you don't have any of this on your lighthouse already, if you can even see that, I already have some kind of draped across my lighthouse. So bright in here. You can even take some of this and wrap it around your lighthouse. That would look kind of pretty. I got that on wrapped out one, I believe. And I'm just going to take a good piece of floral wire. I don't know. I want to make sure it's going to hold. I'm going to take a pretty long piece here. I'm not sure how long that is. A couple feet. And what I'm going to try to do, I want to get it so it's not seen. And there's like some rope here. So I'm gonna try to get it to go. I don't want this to be seen. Trying to think of the best way to do this. I could just put it up under here. I just don't want that wire to be seen. Cheryl, didn't you say you made one of these? How did you put your lighthouse on? Did you just glue it? Cheryl's still here, I think.
I haven't attached mine yet.
I could just paint over this too. I could put my wire on, then just paint over it so you don't see it. Let me think for a
I
second.
haven't attached mine yet because I don't have one that I really like.
Oh, really? Give me a second here. Actually, you know what? I just figured it out. I went ahead and I went right in between. There's like some roping here, and I sort of just went like right inside that rope with the wire, and it's sort of like in there now. Make sure I have this long enough on both sides. So you can't even really see it now. It's like in between this roping here. And I got this from Party Swizzle or Party Zwizzle. I can't remember what it's called, but the link is actually in the events calendar. Just gonna kind of twist this around the back here. Do I have that long enough on both sides? I need to make sure it's long enough on both sides. You're not going to want to glue it because the glue will not hold. These are kind of heavy. You can kind of see it a little bit, but I just pushed that rope up. You can actually also buy some of that. I had some of this from Michael's. It's like a rope. It looks like a C type rope. If you can actually even wrap that around your lighthouse a couple of times just to hide your floral wire. Mine already came with it wrapped around it. So, all right, I have it twisted around the back. So just get it placed. I may even glue these little fishies so they stay in place. They're sort of dangling now. I don't like that. I may kind of glue them so that they stay in the front. Just kind of figure out where you want it. Find your wire because you want to feed the wire through your wreath form, which is always a challenge. Especially when you have so much mesh like I do. Now what I'm going to try to do, which always helps me when I'm hanging a sign or centerpiece, is find the crossbar. And it's better to hang it up higher than like in the middle. So try to find a crossbar that's up toward the top. And feed your wire through it. Don't go too tight just yet. I'll poke myself with this wire. Even if you just want to take that rope that I showed you, and again, I got mine from Michael's, I think, and just wrap that around the middle of your lighthouse and use that to tie to your wreath. You could do that too. You don't have to use floral wire. I think this is going to work. So let me find my other wire here. There it is. This is always such a tricky part for me, especially when you have something that's a little bit heavy, because so many times I've thought that I've had something, you know, really secured on there, and then you go and you stand your wreath up or you hang it up and it slides and you want to scream. You're like, no, it was perfect. I swear it was perfect. So again, find a crossbar and wrap your wire around that or whatever you're using, rope or twine. You know what you could even use too? Hold on a second here. If you don't want to use floral wire, you can use this. This is jute cord. You can use that and wrap that around your lighthouse. That's very natural looking. And then use that to tie it to your wreath. I just thought of that. I had some of that. But I used wire, so let's hope it'll stay. And again, I think I'm going to take some hot glue and glue my little fishies because I don't want them dangling around like that. That's bothering me. I want them to sit still. There. Sorry, fishies. I don't want you to move. Should have done this before, but I didn't think it was going to bother me. I don't want my lighthouse to get lost in my ruffles, so I'm sort of like trying to push some underneath it. You want to sort of be, you know, kind of nestled in there, but, you know, sitting on top so you can see the decoration and everything that's on there. You don't want it to be lost. But I think that's going to stay. Let's see.
Looks good.
You think so?
Uh-huh.
It's not moving. I didn't really want it to be right in the center. I kind of wanted it to be down a little bit more. But I think it looks good. And it's staying. It's not moving. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tighten my wire. I'm going to cut off the excess. Thank you, whoever that was. I wish I had like a little...
It was Lori.
Hi, Lori. I'm so sorry. I wish I had something that kind of lit up on my screen so I would know who was talking. Just trying to get this a little bit tighter. Oh, you know what? I just undid it. Instead of tightening it, I undid it. I don't know how I did that. I was going the wrong way. Hold on. After all that work. Thing of it is with the floral wire is it gets caught in your mesh. So you gotta be careful. I'm gonna go up around the top one too, I think, just to give it a little bit of more stability here. All right, where's my other one? Yeah. Okay. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put my little shells on. Whoops. Let's see what I have my camera still on here. And then we'll be done. I can find my shells. And again, these were from Hobby Lobby, and these were only $4 for this. You was either pay $4, see some of the pieces, some of it broke a little bit. It was either pay $4 and get one starfish, or spend $4 and get a bunch of little shells. So I decided to go for the shells. And I kind of got to put it this way, guys, so I can see what I'm doing here. And I'm hoping the glue is going to hold. I'm not quite sure, but I don't really know any other way to attach these except to glue them. But these are kind of heavy, so let's see what happens here. I hope they don't come sliding off when I when I stand my wreath up. And these ones are a little lighter here, these smaller ones. So maybe starfish might be a better choice because they're not as heavy. I thought I would give this a try and see how it worked. This one might be too heavy too. I just burned myself. This one's kind of light. Hopefully those will stay. We'll see. I'm just kind of sticking them around here. I'm not going to stand this up yet because I don't want these to slide off until they're dry. But I think they're going to stay. I hope. That's it. Nothing too spectacular. I mean, this isn't meant to be. This is meant to be kind of simple, you know. But that's it.
It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Hopefully my shells don't come off, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. I thought, let me do something different and not get the starfish, but the starfish was a lot lighter, so cross your fingers, ladies. But I think it's on there. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. So it is 9:45. We're getting done a little bit early. But if you have any questions, let me know. Again, I posted the link in the events calendar under the class listing for this class to show where you can order the Lighthouse if you want. But actually, you know what? It ended up working out good. It looks like I have a little bit more sky or water than I do sand, and that's kind of what I wanted. So if you want to spray this a little bit, which I might do, but I'm going to take it outside just because this jute likes to fray on the ends here. Just a little bit. But again, you know, that kind of makes it look a little bit more natural too, especially when you're talking about a wreath like this, you know. Yeah, just stop touching it like I'm doing. But that's it. All right, you guys, I guess I'll see you tomorrow night for the tobacco basket finally. We're going to get that one done. I hope you can join me. All righty.
Good night.
Good night, guys. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Yeah.
Bye.